Experimentation. This is one of the vital beauties of obscurity, where you get to observe, you get to sit down and study people. If you're a musical artist, you get to study, you get to observe. And this is one advantage Burna Boy has, alongside few artists in Nigeria, for instance. Burna Boy has a genre of music that he calls Afrofusion. Afrofusion is the combination of various genres of music into a unified sound. And for you to do that, it means you must be vast in different genres of music. Now, Burna Boy is good with hip hop, rap. Burna Boy is ardent, is great with R&B. Burna Boy is great with raga, even reggae. Burna Boy is great with Fuji. So it only takes a person who has experimented a lot with different sounds, studied the greats. It only takes such a person to formulate a genre of music called Afrofusion. So that is the advantage of time. The Beatles had their 10,000 hours where they experimented in Germany in the book called The Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. So you need that time to experiment, make mistakes that will not cost. Welcome to the 14th episode of the Modus Operandi podcast. I remain yours truly, Dr. Macaulay Barnabas, aka Dr. BMAC. It's nice to be here again with you to begin the weekend, right? Yeah, so today I'll be talking about the beauty of obscurity. The beauty of obscurity. I understand that everybody wants to blow. Everybody wants to be recognized. Let me use it that way. Let me put it that way. Everybody wants to be appreciated. Everybody wants to be seen. And that is valid. That is true in any given area, in every given field that we are currently in. We want to be recognized. We want to be appreciated. We want to be awarded. Basically, it is not a bad thing to desire such. I mean, it's one of the elements of what success means, though this vary from persons to persons according to their purpose, right? So I tend to see recognition as a tool, really. It's a tool of expression. It's a tool of purpose. It's not just for personal aggrandizement to feel good about yourself. It's for service at the end of the day. And I've also learned that the recognition for Mr. A may be different from that of Mrs. B, right? That is just how it plays out when it comes to being recognized, being famous. And again, I use the word recognition on the fundamental basis because fame is a different kind of recognition. But fundamentally, everybody wants to be recognized in their respective field, not necessarily famous. Fame is just another form of recognition. So back to the conversation, the beauty of obscurity. And the first question will be, what is beautiful about obscurity? What is beautiful about not being known? I mean, well, I tend to see obscurity as not a destination, but a part of the journey. It is a necessary constituent of our becoming. It's a phase that when skipped, if one gets recognized, it will be obvious to the public that this person did not spend time in their cave of Adullam. Yeah, that is me being very theological, or did not do their 10,000 hours. We all need that, to be honest. I know in this fast-paced world, people are clamoring to be known. Like I said, do anything for clout. But it is important to have this in cognizance. Yes, to be in cognizance of this understanding that, okay, obscurity is important. And it can feel like a cause. It can feel like a cause. There is no formula to it, how it manifests in your life. How it would appear for you may be different from how it will appear for another person. However, just getting references, people who had their time of obscurity, seeing how it happens to them and for them, helps to motivate one in their own state of obscurity. And one of these references would be Christoph Waltz. Christoph Waltz. Christoph Waltz is an actor in Hollywood, an amazing one at that, a two-time Oscar winner. And he won those roles via movies directed by Quentin Tarantino. His first major movie that blew him, that made him famous and known to the field of the movie industry was Inglorious Bastard, that was released in 2009. Mind you, this man had been in the industry for 30 years prior. 30 years with no recognition, 30 years putting the homework, 30 years no award, 30 years just managing and patching up your life. But a movie, an opportunity, a role that seemed specifically tailored for him got across to him and he nailed the role. Thankfully, that won him his first ever Oscar award from his first ever nomination. Crazy, crazy, crazy. That is inspiring. And I believe that the time in the unknown is not a waste. I consider it a phase of the metamorphosis of a butterfly. Yeah, the caterpillar becoming a butterfly. It is that phase of being in the cocoon where you get to be transformed, where you get to experience some things I'm going to talk about. So you ask me, what are the beauties of obscurity? One of the beauties of obscurity is having enough time. Now, before you become a professional at anything, you need to put in your 10,000 hours. Your 10,000 hours. If I should summarize it in years, I would say 4 years. Now, again, that's just being mathematical or formulaic. I'll teach principle, I'll explain principles, but the formula will be different for each and every one, right? So on the rough estimate, it's 10,000 hours, which is 4 years. You have enough time to experiment. You have enough time to try out this, to try out that. You have enough time in your hands. An example that comes to mind will be J.K. Rowling's. She had enough time to create the whole magical world of the Harry Potter series. Whenever her child was sleeping, she would write and write and write. And these were very difficult moments of her life. She was feeding from hand to mouth, literally being living on state funds. That was how low things were. But she had the time. She had enough time to prepare. She had enough time to plan. She had enough time to create what she wanted to create before fame will come, recognition will come, and fans are pressuring you to create something, do something. So all that was already established. Another beauty of obscurity would be experimentation without consequences. This one is also vital, where you get to try out different things. And now here, you can make mistakes with your funds or with funds of friends in trying out a new project. It could be an app, it could be a software, it could be a musical album, whatever it is. It may flop and the consequences will not be much. So that is the beauty of obscurity, whereby the consequences from experiments will not cost you to the point of disaster, to the point of halting entirely. So here you can afford to make mistakes that you can afford. Yes, consequences that you can afford to deal with. So experimentation, this is one of the vital beauties of obscurity, where you get to observe, you get to sit down and study people. If you're a musical artist, you get to study, you get to observe. And this is one advantage Burna Boy has, alongside few artists in Nigeria, for instance. Burna Boy has a genre of music that he calls Afrofusion. Afrofusion is the combination of various genres of music into a unified sound. And for you to do that, it means you must be vast in different genres of music. Now, Burna Boy is good with hip hop, rap. Burna Boy is ardent, is great with R&B. Burna Boy is great with raga, even reggae. Burna Boy is great with Fuji. So it only takes a person who has experimented a lot with different sounds, studied the greats. It only takes such a person to formulate a genre of music called Afrofusion. So that is the advantage of time. The Beatles had their 10,000 hours where they experimented in Germany in the book called The Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. So you need that time to experiment, make mistakes that will not cost you so much. Please take advantage of this time. If you are currently in your season of obscurity, experiment, try different things, experiment, walk like a child, be colorful. Now you don't need to be too careful. Now you are not bound by the problem of stability. Now you can enjoy the beauty of I won't call it irrationality, being erratic. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. The third advantage or the third beauty of obscurity would be authenticity. Authenticity. This is the time where you get to understand your values, who you are, what you stand for, what you don't stand for. This is the time where you get to build character, build tenacity and integrity. This is important. This is the foundation period of your life. It's easy to build the skyscrapers, but the foundation, without the foundation, the skyscraper is nothing. So this is the foundational moments of your life where you understand your own language. You understand your own language. You understand the uniqueness and the peculiarity of your voice and your path. So that when the limelight comes, recognition appears. You will not cower under the pressure of people forcing you to become who you are not. So now it's important to know who you are, to understand your language, character, authenticity, being yourself. Because people have a subtle tendency of want to form you into what they want, into what they like. And the problem is that when you bend to that, they get tired of who they have formed and discard you for someone else that is different from them. So you don't really want that, even at a very close level. This is when you get to know who you are. When you get to understand your language, build authenticity, build character. Sylvester Stallone was so broke that he sold his dog for $40 just to feed. And when he wrote the script for Rocky, he met with the producers and they just wanted to buy the script and hire another actor to play the lead role for the movie. He said no. It takes someone who have suffered in the dark and built character to say no to such an offer. And that was his greatest decision, to not agree to that, deciding to play the lead role. And that was what catapulted him into stardom, into recognition in his field. So you will need to say no when the limelight comes. You will need to say no to some things when the recognition comes. Selling your soul is not some demonic practices or ritual. Selling your soul is doing things against your value system. And nothing is as miserable as that. Then you get to wonder why people have so much money, so much fame and recognition, and yet they are depressed. Sometimes it's because of things like this. What you sold your values for, what you sold things that actually matters to you for. So take advantage of it to build character, to build tenacity. It is hard, I know. It is difficult, I know. I'm currently in my phase of obscurity as well. Only God knows how long I have been here. But build, 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 stay. Yes, people are going far. People are being recognized. People are everywhere on social media. People are everywhere on the internet. Stay, stay, stay. I can't imagine the frustration of Christoph Waltz. I can't imagine. Now back to his story, right? That role that he played, the role required a person who could speak German, Italian, is it Italy or Italian? German, Italian, English, and French fluently. And he was the one who could, having the extra variables that depicts and makes the character rich. All that was gotten from 30 years of no recognition, 30 years of building character, 30 years of experimentation. Another beauty of obscurity would be formulating genuine relationships. When recognition comes, One of the mistakes is you get to see a lot of fair weather friends, people who love you based on what you have become, based on the recognition and the limelight. Yes, it comes with the package. But if you are unfortunate enough not to have developed lifelong relationships, friendships in your moments, in your season of obscurity, then it's a problem for you. It's a problem. You'll be used, you'll be cheated, you'll be scammed, you'll be lied to, you'll be scammed. But when you have people whom you lived through those dark seasons, I would call them dark seasons, through those seasons of obscurity with, when the limelight comes, you can always put people in their place, different levels of intimacy. But your day ones are your day ones. Your day ones are your day ones. An example is M.I. Abaga, Dilopi Crew. Way before it was signed to Chocolate City Music, he knew Jeremiah Gyang. Of course, his brother Jesse Jags, Ice Prince Amani, there was Chopsticks, E. Kelly, and different people. He knew these people, Gyang. He knew these guys. He had a relationship with them before the stardom. So when stardom came, he wasn't making friends with new people. He was with his day ones. Of course, he will not get to meet new people, interact with them, and have a certain level of relationship with them. But it was centered. You will always be a centered person when you stick with your people, irrespective of the intensity of the limelight. You will always be centered. Again, it's one of the reasons people lose themselves, because recognition, there's a tendency for you to lose yourself in the season of recognition. There's a tendency. You need people to hit you on your chest. You need people you can cry to and tell, please help me. I'm sorrowful to the point of death. You need people you can be yourself with. You need people you can cry to. People who see you for who you are, irrespective of your stardom, irrespective of your success, irrespective of your achievements. You need these people. Obscurity is beautiful. It is beautiful. It is beautiful. You need, like David in scriptures, your Adullam moments. Men who stood by you in those moments, so that when you become king, you are centered. So that a Joab can rebuke you and tell you, how far now? Do you want us killed? And you'll be reason with him. So you need to be a centered person. You need to be a centered person. So obscurity should not be seen as a prison, because sometimes it feels like a prison, to be honest with you. It feels like a prison. It feels so restraining. You want to move, but you are being held back. You try this, it's like you are cursed. You try that, it seems like they select everybody else except you. Remain there. There was something I told my wife last year. I told her that whenever you are being invited to speak in any event, it is not when you start to do your research that is what you are going to tell those people. Those researches you do before the speaking events, the day of the event, those are just fact finding to back up the principles you've already attained in your moment of obscurity. That is the beauty of obscurity. You've not been selected, you've not been chosen. Build yourself, because it is who you are you will express eventually to the public. Because the pressure with the limelight is different. The consequences for any mistake is higher. But when you have done your homework to a reasonable degree, there are less mistakes. You will make mistakes there, but it will not be mistakes that will crush you, because you have been prepared in a moment of obscurity. You have related with failure. You have dined with it. Do you remember, I've forgotten his name, Dark Knight 2, the guy on Mask? I feel ashamed of myself, a DC fan, forgetting the name of that character. He said, I have lived in the dark. I have dined with the dark. Bruce Wayne was hidden in the shadows. He was talking. Then from nowhere, Bane, yes, Bane. How would I forget? While he was saying those things, he just held Bruce Wayne, Batman, brought him out and punched him. See, you have dined with failures. You understand the art of rejection. You've dined with it. So that when you receive a different kind of rejection during the time of a limelight, you not go and feel miserable to the point of consuming drugs and just ruin your life committing suicide. And that's what happens a lot of times in different levels of recognition, where it now becomes like an idol. Lecrae once said something. He said, if you live by people's praise, you will die from their validation. So obscurity is beautiful. It is one of those things people don't like to talk about. No, no, no. It is beautiful. It is not a prison. It is a laboratory. See it as a lab. You are being formed. You are being formulated. How it will appear for you is different from how it will appear for other persons. Other persons, their time of obscurity may just be 10 years, 4 years, 3 years. Yours will be 15 years. But remain there. Remain there, because Christoph Waltz, I envy him. 2 Oscar awards back to back within 2 years. 2 years. 2 years. He won the other one when he did Django, right? Yeah. 2 years. But 30 years. 30 years of hustle. 30 years of sweat. But all I can say is endure hardship. Endure it. Make the best with what you have until better comes. I hope this has been an amazing episode for you. Until next week, do have an amazing weekend. God bless you. Gracias.